and welcome to video 2 of our book A Squash and a Squeeze. So this video we will look at the word of the week. So can I have a drum roll please? The word of the week is curious. Okay, let's have a little look where it appears in the story. In fact, it appears rather a few times in the story because it's part of that sort of chorus that comes in, or that repeating refrain. So let's have a quick look. Take in my hen, what a curious plan. So it's there. And then we have it again. Take in my goat, what a curious plan. So it's repeated throughout the book. So what does it mean? Let's have a look in the dictionary. So the word curious starts with the letter C. So we need to go through the alphabet till we get to the letter C. Okay, A, B, C. Ooh, that was easy. So C-U we're looking for. Let's have a look. Curious. Now the word curious actually has a couple of meanings. And you may be more familiar with the first meaning that's listed here in the dictionary. So first of all, it says ADJ, which means it's an adjective or a describing word. And it means eager to learn or to know. So that is the first meaning that you might be familiar with. So you might say that, oh, I'm very curious to find out what's going on today, or I'm very curious to find out when the lockdown will finish and we can go back to school. That's one meaning of the word. But in this story, it means the second meaning. It means unusual or peculiar. So when something is described as being curious in the sense in the book, it means what an unusual or peculiar plan. So let's have a look here. I'll put that to one side and we'll have a look at some antonyms and synonyms. So we have our word of the week here, which is curious, and we have our meaning, which is unusual or peculiar. So it's an adjective. So let's have a look. What about the word mysterious? Now, if something is curious in this sense that we've used it in the book, I think that's the same kind of thing. So I'm going to put that there with the synonyms. You could say a curious plan, or you could say a mysterious plan. So those two words mean the same sort of thing. So I'm putting the word mysterious there underneath the list for the synonyms. Now, what about the word puzzling? Puzzling is another word that kind of means the same, doesn't it? If you have a curious plan or an unusual or peculiar plan, you could also say it's puzzling. I get a bit confused. Why are we doing this plan? Why is he asking her to bring in the goats and the hen and the cow and the pig? It's definitely puzzling. So I'm going to also list that one there with the synonyms. They mean a sort of similar thing. What about the word normal? Now, normal is the opposite of curious, because if you say, oh, that's very normal, then it doesn't sound very puzzling or confusing. A normal plan. You might have thought that the wise old man might have said to the lady, oh, well, if you think your house is too small, maybe you could build some more room. Maybe you could extend it, or maybe you could move to a bigger house. I would have said that was a normal plan, a quite usual sort of plan. So that I'm going to put with the antonyms because that's the opposite of curious. Okay, let's have another look. What about the word, unusual? Unusual is definitely the same kind of a word as curious, because if it's an unusual plan, then you don't really know what's going on. What is this wise old man trying to do to this poor lady? He's definitely got an unusual plan here, hasn't he? But what about the word usual? Now, as you can see, those two words are the opposite from one another, unusual and usual. So I'm going to put this one with the antonyms. Usual means normal, sort of regular, a very non-complicated or mysterious thing. So they can go with the antonyms because they are the opposite of curious. And I've also got the word here, bizarre. So you could definitely have said, oh, the old man had a bizarre plan. He was asking the lady to do some very strange things, bringing her animals indoors. That was pretty bizarre. So I'm going to put that with the synonyms because it means the same kind of thing as curious. And finally, I have the word here, familiar. Now that's also an antonym because familiar is something that's usual, something that you've seen before, like, oh, that's a familiar friend of mine. I've seen her many times. So it's not something that's unusual or puzzling or mysterious. So it's again one of the antonyms. So our word of the week was curious. It's an adjective, and in this particular case, it means unusual or peculiar. As I say, you may know it in the other sense where it means you want to find something out. But in this case, we mean unusual or peculiar because we had a curious plan from the wise old man. And synonyms include mysterious, puzzling, and unusual or bizarre. They all mean the same sort of thing. And antonyms are normal, usual, and familiar. Okay, thank you. Tune in for video 3 and I'll explain the worksheets. Bye.